Well, hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you enjoyed the Jubilee weekend. We're just putting on the Tanko wrapper, which has been in the shed for a year. We're literally blowing off the cobwebs. So it's always worth, you know, just before you start using the machinery to, I always think anyway, to take it out and start using it again, because there's nothing worse than when you get the wrapper out, get a piece of equipment out and you've got some bales coming in and then the thing doesn't work. You've got to get some parts. It takes ages to get the parts on the phone. And we just had a little problem this morning with the weed wiper over there. It's got a problem with the pump at the moment. We've cleaned all the lines out and the spray nozzles are clean and the lines are all clean, but there's just a problem with the pump on that now, and we don't know how long it's going to take to either replace the pump or find a solution for that. So, you know, and I was going to be weed wiping all day today, so, you know, you can't predict these things sometimes. So we're all hooked on. We'll just give this a wash down and get it ready. I've just given it a bit of a swell off to give it a spring clean. It looks a lot better now. And in the cab here, this is what I use to set the wraps on it. So I normally just put it on with this suction cup I drilled onto it last year, and that should just hopefully stay on there. So. Right, so we've got this little rubber mat at the back which I sort of put down. On this concrete yard, it slopes that way back down towards the farm, so if I have the bales facing that way, they seem to roll off and disappear, or if you're just horizontal with the concrete yard. So I kind of parked the tractor at a bit of an angle so the bales are rolling uphill rather than downhill, so it seems to work out quite well. So I'll just put it on the box here. Okay, so we've just turned the wraps down on the bales, and we're going to wrap some of the straw bales. And the reason why we want to wrap a few straw bales is because we use them. I was going to buy some sort of concrete blocks, and I was going to use them for walls in the parking area here for the gallops. And in the end, we use these green bales, which, if people drive into them, it doesn't damage their car or their lorry, and also it's cheap. It doesn't cost me anything. So we might put another 3 or 4 bales through the wrapper. We'll also test the wrapper whilst we're doing it, and then hopefully it will all be set up for next week. One problem I have got is this remote control is just a bit low on battery this year, so I have to get a new battery for this, but I can't seem to get the battery cover off it at the moment. But I need to get a new battery for that anyway. Now, one of the problems I've found in recent weeks with the hydraulics on machines is that if you don't keep the couplings clean, whether it be on the telehandler or the tractor or anything really, if you've got any grit or gravel getting into things, it does damage the hydraulic systems over time. So we're really trying now to spend time on keeping all the couplings clean if we can before we put hydraulic couplings onto attachments, and it has made a big difference by keeping them clean. So. Before we obviously wrap a bale, I have to put the bit of polythene here, the bit of plastic, into the clamp which holds it in whilst it's rotating round. So safety. Right. Okay. Alrighty. No! No! I have to try that again. That has not gone well. Well, I think what's happened here is because we're at a bit of an angle on this slope, the bales are rolling back now, and obviously that's not something I want to do. So if we could get the bales so they were just, as they're coming off, literally just rolling back and then staying there without rolling back onto the wrapper, that would be pretty good. Because now what's going to happen is I'm going to try and get this bale out of here and I'm going to damage it on the way out. So we'll move the tractor a bit more and see if that works. think earlier on the wrapper was just getting going. Sometimes I think when machinery has been in the shed for a while, you can leave it on the settings from when you last had it, and the machine will sometimes reset themselves when you haven't used them in a while. So I think that's probably what's happened. We try and put, if we can, 4 to 5 layers on for our outdoor silage, because it does get damaged quite badly by the birds, and then we get away with it. So there we are. It seems to be working quite well now, and like all these things, I suppose once you get into a rhythm, it works out pretty well. Oh, well, there we go. So what's happened there is the silage wraps come off. I've also turned the hydraulics up this year in the tractor, so it goes a little bit quicker. I had it on about 6 on the flow last year, and this year I put it on about 10. I've given it full whack, so as you can see, it's spinning a little bit quicker, which will hopefully speed up the job this time round, because we've got a few bales to put in here, probably 350 or 400, so I want to be getting a move on if I can, really. These few bales are quite handy actually, because I put them in front of the implement, so people can't park in front of the implements and then I can't get the bucket. Right, well, I've just sort of decided to level out where we're going to put the 400 bales. We don't have obviously concrete on this side. This part of the yard's all concrete. It's like a concrete stack yard, and then we just put the bales on this part of soil here. And we were speaking about one year maybe putting down some like crushed tarmac on here, a bit of road surfacing, because also in the winter this becomes very wet and boggy, and you sometimes get lorries who try and turn in here and then they can't turn around. So we might one day put like some road planings in here, but for now we just generally level it out like that with a bucket, and then it leaves enough room to be able to get in with the silage and put another stack up here. I'll put some more soil, I think, where that puddle is as well, and try and fill that in, and then we'll have enough room. I'll move the rollers out of the way as well. We also have a few rat boxes as well, which we put down, and touch wood, that has kept all of the rats away. We did lose quite a few years ago now, about 10 years ago, we lost like 300 bales to rats, and it was absolutely devastating. So ever since, we always try our best to keep the rats out. So hopefully you can see it's starting to take shape. Like with all of these things, it's all about organisation. I've got to move all those bales out the way over there, and you know, you get these massive tractors and trailers coming in nowadays, so we'll probably have to move all of that out of the way. I've got my old fodder beet pile over there as well, which is, there's still a bit of beet in that. We'll have to put that on the muck pile for now, because we did advertise it, so if anyone wants any fodder beet, there is probably 20 tonne of fodder beet sitting there, which didn't get used this year, but it's starting to go off now. That's the trouble in the sun every day. But we will get rid of that. We'll clean all this up, open this part of the yard up, and then the tractors and trailers can come in here, and then I'll be unloading them this year with the Manitou and the Tanko bale wrapper. And I've got some more film coming for this wrapper. It's all now set up. We'll put the wraps up to, I think, 24 wraps, which is equivalent to, I believe, the 4 wraps, 4 layers of wrap which we use. I'm not too sure, but I speak to Michael from Tanko and he helps me out with it. So that'll all be set up, and then later on this week we're going to Cereals 2022, which will hopefully be quite a good arable show to go to, because I want to look at some drought resistant malting barley varieties. We've been using, I believe it's called Odyssey, for many years on the farm, and we might have a look at something else. I do enjoy going to some of these events and just looking at some of the crop plots, and you can see how they've progressed and you can compare them against other crops. And also a nice treat, I think there's going to be the new John Deere there, the 6R, which is the 6R185, which I haven't seen yet, so you might have a look at that, which is apparently going to be on the John Deere stand. So I'm looking forward to that. Thanks to Spaldings as well for getting me a ticket to go to Cereals, so hopefully it'll be a great few days. Thanks for watching this video. Do give it a thumbs up, and you can go and follow the Olly's Farm Instagram page, which is ollys.farm, in the Instagram search bar. I'll leave the link in the description down below, and with that I'll carry on levelling out the area for silage, move all that straw out the way, all the machinery, and then we'll be ready for Silage 2022. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Click here to subscribe to the channel, and click here to watch another Olly's Farm video.